Hashtag, we want Cody. We want Cody. I have read this hundreds, if not thousands of times the last several days all over my social media. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever think that after the WWE shocked the world and had Cody Rhodes give up his WrestleMania spot to the great one, the Brahma Bull, arguably the greatest WWE superstar of all time, The Rock, that The Rock and Roman Reigns would be a part of the most disliked video in the history of WWE's YouTube page. Never could have imagined. Now, we all know why all this is going on. We do. The company had to figure out something and bring up a distraction from everything going on with the former CEO and all that negativity. It's a plan B. That's why you bring The Rock in. Endeavor's biggest client. You put him on the board. You give him $30 million. You make him a big part of the storyline. And I guess I was a little bit shocked at first at the fan base who reacted this way when just a couple of weeks ago, when The Rock said, maybe I need to take a seat at the head of the table. And the entire crowd went absolutely bonkers. What did they think was going to ultimately happen? But not if Cody Rhodes was involved. In the past, anytime you bring The Rock back, it's always meant big business, which is the other side of this. I had so many tweets on X say, Coach, you have no idea what you're talking about. You're an idiot. They don't need more star power. They're already doing big business. They've sold out 2 nights in a row. Well, understand a couple of things. That if the WWE relied solely on ticket sales, they would have been out of business a long time ago. This is about sponsorships and eyeballs. And if it was any other pay-per-view, I would actually agree with most of the fan base. It's not. It's WrestleMania, something we always called our Super Bowl. You need the hardcore fan that watches every single week. True. But you also need that casual fan that just tunes in for the Super Bowl. Somebody said to me, Coach, we've got Gunther and other stars. We're good. With all due respect to Gunther and the other male and female superstars, you walk down the street and you just walk up to anybody. They're not going to know who that is. They will all know who The Rock is. And just like the WWE has a board and a CEO and all of that, president, so do other companies. So if you are Slim Jim or Coke or any of these big companies, you've got to answer to your board as well. So if you're spending millions of dollars, you've got to know that it's being seen by millions of people. That's why it matters. Even if it's on an app that there's a fixed cost, what do you all think the pay-per-view model is? It is paying for a show. That's what Peacock is. That's what Netflix is. It's just an app now and not a one-off. But it's still a pay-per-view model, so every single person counts. So the company now finds themselves between a rock, literally, and a hard place. Do they give the fans starting tonight on Raw what they've been screaming for the last 3 days? They could do it. Or do you alienate The Rock in some way? Because Endeavor, make no mistake about it, they want to do the right thing. But they also don't want to piss off The Rock, their biggest client. And The Rock also has a big-time stake in this. His entire career has been this. He's really never had ups and downs until recently. This was supposed to be, at least in my opinion, a place for him to come back, have 3 great months, and then ride off into the sunset again in April and feel good about himself and all the work he did to try and save the company in the short term. He's never felt backlash like this. So what do? What's going on in those meetings when they're talking with The Rock and Brian Gerwitz, if you believe the rumors? I worked with Brian Gerwitz for over 10 years. A brilliant mind, and he was The Rock's personal writer for many, many years. Every time you saw me and The Rock, Brian standing right there. And understand this. Many of you don't realize this. Triple H head of creative, and The Rock have never liked each other. And there is nothing to make me believe that that has changed. So if you're bringing in The Rock and Bryan as a backup plan to creative, what does that mean moving forward? So I got to be honest. In my gut, I have been swayed. This groundswell that we haven't seen since maybe the likes of Daniel Bryan years and years ago, and I was always taught this. Storylines end at WrestleMania and begin the next night. You can't have this end at some random pay-per-view in June. I think they will pivot. I think they will do, quote-unquote, the right thing. Can you imagine? Night 2, WrestleMania, Cody Rhodes standing on that middle rope in the corner and raising that title to finally pay off that 2-year storyline. But all you fans that say it's not possible or that could never happen, 2 years ago, could you have ever imagined Cody Rhodes or CM Punk back in the WWE? Not me. The eyeballs are on this company, right or wrong. What they do moving forward will be covered by all of the major outlets. What's going to be that storyline? Hell, they've got people like me back tuning in to find out. Don't forget, Driving the Line every single weekday, 10 a.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube. In the meantime, enjoy.